Isiah Thomas and Michael Jordan were two of the greatest players of the 1980s. Thomas was born in Chicago, Illinois. During college, he was recruited by one of the greatest college coaches, Bob Knight, to play for the Indiana Hoosiers. Due to his skills, he quickly became a favorite of Coach Knight and the Hoosiers fans. He led Indiana to the Big Ten championship and advanced to the 1980 NCAA Sweet 16. The following year, Coach Knight made him the team captain, and he didn't disappoint as they won the 1981 NCAA championship against the North Carolina Tar Heels. Coach Knight convinced Thomas to enter the 1981 NBA draft due to his exceptional talent. In 1982, Michael Jordan joined the North Carolina Tar Heels. Had Thomas not declared for the 1981 NBA draft, he might have faced Jordan in the 1982 NCAA championship, where North Carolina won with a game-winning jump shot by Jordan. In the 1981 NBA draft, the Chicago Bulls, Thomas's hometown team, held the fourth pick. Thomas mentioned in an interview with the Players Tribune that he sabotaged his interviews with the Dallas Mavericks and the Detroit Pistons because he wanted to be drafted by his hometown team. However, he was ultimately drafted by the rival Detroit Pistons. Jordan, after 3 years in college, declared for the 1984 NBA draft. He was picked third by the Chicago Bulls. Before playing in the NBA, Jordan was selected for the 1984 USA Olympic team, along with Patrick Ewing, his Tar Heel teammate Sam Perkins, and Chris Mullin. Notably, future Hall of Famers Charles Barkley, John Stockton, and Karl Malone didn't make the team. The USA team was coached by Bob Knight, Thomas's former college coach. The first matchup between Jordan and Thomas was an exhibition game, where the USA team beat the Indiana Hoosiers alumni 124-89. Jordan didn't perform well in that game. During their preparation, the USA team played against NBA players, including another game against Thomas. By then, Thomas was a 3-time All-Star. Coach Knight told Thomas that Jordan was an extraordinary player. The USA team won all 8 exhibition games, with Thomas participating in 3 of them alongside Magic Johnson and the Celtics' Big Three: Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Robert Parrish. During the Olympics, Coach Knight called Jordan the best player he'd ever seen, even though Jordan hadn't played in the NBA yet. This was significant considering Thomas had brought Knight a championship in college. Jordan and Thomas faced each other in the NBA for the first time on November 7, 1984, at the Pontiac Silverdome, the home court of the Detroit Pistons. Thomas scored 35 points and 10 assists, but the Bulls won 122-180. In the 1985 All-Star Game, known as the Freeze-Out Game, rookie Jordan showcased his skills and was selected as a starter for the Eastern team. Nike saw this as an opportunity to market their product endorsed by Jordan. Some NBA players were reportedly unhappy with this. According to Dr. Charles Tucker, a former advisor to Magic Johnson and Isiah Thomas, some NBA stars wanted to teach Jordan a lesson. Jordan only made 2 out of 9 field goals and finished with 7 points, the lowest in all his All-Star games. Rumors spread that Thomas, Johnson, and George Gervin conspired to limit Jordan's success in the game. 2 days later, the Pistons and Bulls faced off again, with the Bulls winning 139-126 in overtime, with Jordan scoring 49 points and grabbing 15 rebounds. The media dubbed this Jordan's revenge game. From 1984 to 1987, the Bulls didn't face the Pistons in the playoffs. The Bulls were eliminated in the first round 3 consecutive years by the Celtics and the Bucks. Meanwhile, the Pistons had a stronger team but still lost to the Celtics in Game 7 of the 1987 Eastern Conference Finals. In the 1988 Eastern Conference semifinals, the Bulls and Pistons finally met. the Pistons won 4 out of 6 regular season games against the Bulls, with Jordan averaging 30.6 points and scoring 59 points in the last game. Pistons coach Chuck Daly devised a defensive scheme known as the Jordan Rules to limit Jordan's scoring. The Pistons won the series in 5 games, with Jordan averaging only 27 points, far from his 37-point regular season average. Thomas averaged 20 points and 10 assists. The Pistons reached the finals, but lost to the Los Angeles Lakers in 7 games. The following year, the Bulls and Pistons met again in the Eastern Conference Finals, with the Pistons winning in 6 games. Jordan averaged nearly 30 points, while Thomas had 20 points and 8 assists. The Pistons won their first title by defeating the Lakers 4-0 in the finals. After the 1989 playoffs, the Chicago Bulls hired Phil Jackson as head coach, replacing Doug Collins. The Bulls improved to 55 wins from 47 and faced the Pistons again in the Eastern Conference Finals. This time, the series went to 7 games, but the Bulls lost 93-74. Jordan scored 31 points, but only Horace Grant reached double figures with 10 points. Scottie Pippen, who had significantly improved and was being developed as Jordan's sidekick, scored only 2 points on 1 out of 10 shooting. Bulls starting point guard John Paxson was also injured. Thomas led the Pistons with 21 points and 11 assists, taking them to the finals again, where they won against the Trailblazers 4-1 for their second title. In the 1991 playoffs, the Bulls and Pistons met for the 4th consecutive year in the Eastern Conference Finals. This time, the Bulls were ready for the Pistons' physical game and swept them. With 7.9 seconds left in the 4th quarter, Thomas and Bill Laimbeer led a walkout, passing by the Bulls players without shaking hands. Thomas later explained that the walkout was a response to Jordan's comments about the Pistons' bad boy reputation being bad for the NBA's image. The Bulls won their first title by defeating the Lakers 4-1 in the finals. In the 1991-1992 season, the Pistons lost to the New York Knicks in the first round, while the Bulls won their second NBA title against the Blazers. Before the season started, it was announced that NBA professional players could participate in the Olympics. On September 21, 1991, the first 10 players of the Dream Team were announced. Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, John Stockton, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Larry Bird, Chris Mullin, Scottie Pippen, and Michael Jordan. In May 1992, the final 2 players were announced: Clyde Drexler and college player Christian Laettner. The Dream Team coach was Pistons coach Chuck Daly. Thomas was the only All-Star starter not included in the Dream Team. Many believed his exclusion was due to his poor relationship with Jordan. There were rumors that Jordan wouldn't play if Thomas was included, and Thomas's unsportsmanlike walkout against the Bulls didn't help his case. Thomas felt he deserved to be part of the Dream Team, making his exclusion painful. After 1992, the rivalry between Jordan and Thomas cooled down. The Pistons didn't make the playoffs, and Thomas retired due to injury. Meanwhile, the Bulls achieved a three-peat, with Jordan retiring and returning to win another 3 consecutive titles. Jordan retired again in 1998, but returned to play for the Washington Wizards from 2001 until his final retirement in 2003. Even after retirement, the exchange of comments between Jordan and Thomas continued, especially following the release of The Last Dance documentary. The rivalry between Isiah Thomas and Michael Jordan was one of the most intense and memorable in NBA history. Their battles on the court showcased not only their immense talent, but also the fierce competitiveness that defined the era. Each player left an indelible mark on the game, with Thomas leading the Bad Boys Pistons to back-to-back championships, and Jordan guiding the Bulls to 2 historic three-peats. In the end, the story of Isiah Thomas and Michael Jordan is a testament to the power of rivalry in pushing athletes to their greatest heights. It reminds us that even the fiercest competitors can share a mutual respect for the game they love. As they move beyond their playing days, their legacy continues to shape the NBA, reminding us of an era defined by passion, excellence, and unforgettable moments on the hardwood. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the legendary rivalry between Isiah Thomas and Michael Jordan, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more NBA history and content. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on this iconic rivalry and what topics you'd like to see covered next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.